Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the I've Been Falsely Accused radio show, part 20. I'm your host, Cogee, with my main man, Mr. Jeffrey Deskovic. Let's bring him right on in, please. Jeffrey, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Cogee. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Hey, ready to fight, man. Ready to, you know what I'm saying, definitely make this show a great show with a lot of great information. And you definitely been doing a lot of great things, and we're gonna talk about that this hour. But this hour, Jeffrey, I think we definitely gonna dedicate this hour to we gonna call it really keeping it real. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We gonna really keep it real. We definitely gonna bring it, and we definitely gonna talk about what needs to be heard, what's going on in the community that people are turning a blind eye to, and we definitely want to make sure that we tell everybody that when we do these shows, you more than welcome to let us know what's going on, in your city. And on top of that, we just want to really put our stake in it and say that we are working so hard. We're doing everything that we feel we need to do, but me and Jeffrey can't do it alone. That's where I'm seeing, a real conflict. I see a lot of people, they write, they might say something, but then we have no bodies. When I say no bodies, we talk about on the phone. We have nobody to call and really, support. And what I mean by nobody to call, I'm talking about people outside of our situation. We need outside people. We need the nosy grandmas. We need the nosy grandpas. We need the nosy neighbors. We need people, the Gladys Kravitz, you know what I'm saying, on the block, to definitely call in and say, hey, you know what, I've been seeing this going on and that going on, because that's what brings awareness to our whole situation that me and Jeffrey are doing right now. Now, we got another young lady that called in, and that's Miss Jonetta Carr. She's with us right now on the phone. How you doing today, Jonetta?
I'm good.
That's good. Thank you for calling in and supporting me and Jeffrey, because like I said, right now, I know what you're going through, and you're definitely fighting through a situation, but that's what me and Jeffrey need. We need those bodies on the phone. We need those bodies in the studio. We need real people stepping up to do real things. How important is that, Jeff?
Oh, it's critical. It's critical, Cogee. You and I can't do it alone.
We definitely can't do it alone. And Jeffrey, let me ask you something. Even though you're out there and you in New York and I'm in Las Vegas, how hard has it been for you hitting the pavement, going to speak, going to do everything that you are on point doing, but you still getting resistance?
Oh, it's very hard, Cogee. I mean, many wrongful convictions proven as such in New York, can't seem to get a reform passed in New York, even though been at it for a long time, and many other groups are at it even longer than me. Same thing on a national scale, and trying to get funding and trying to get people actually to show up. I mean, I'd like to do more grassroots stuff, but then I need people to show up. I can't call the media and say, hey, look, I want to do this event, that event, and then get us 5 people there. I mean, then next time I call them and I need them, I can't get it. They're going to look at me like I'm silly. So it's very hard. Cogee, it's so hard to get people to do anything, Cogee.
That's right.
Just to do anything. I mean, okay, the moral support, the words, I guess that there's a place in the world for that, but I'm really about action. I need people just to take some action on whatever level they're able to, but some action, something more than words.
That's right. You know what, Jeffrey, now bring everybody up to speed real quick about your organization, and what do you need right now, and what can people help with?
Sure. My organization is called the Jeffrey Deskovic Foundation for Justice, and it's a nonprofit organization that fights wrongful convictions. So we have preventative measures, that's raising awareness, that's seeking legislative changes so people aren't wrongfully convicted in the first place. We have the exonerative component, where we try to help people who already have been wrongfully convicted, not just in the DNA cases like most organizations in the field limit themselves to, but also the non-DNA cases. And then there's the reintegrative aspect of it, in which we try to assist people put their lives back together again after they have been released following an exoneration. So in terms of what people can do, one easy thing which would make all the difference in the world, and I need to get the likes up on the foundation's fan page on Facebook. We get more likes there, and then we're suddenly in a position to approach corporate donors, corporate sponsors. Another thing is, we need donations, even on a small level. I appreciate the people that donate, but not too much money coming in. And we need to make the foundation sustainable. We need to keep going with what I have. I need to add components. I need to add investigators, case intake, add an attorney, so we can try to, increase the amount of cases that we take on. And I have an ambitious program. I'd love to travel the country and speak at various criminal justice professional organizations, from the police, prosecutors, judges, and defense bar, and hit something in the public too, all and do that across the country. And you affect real change. These are people doing work, but that all costs money.
Right.
So we need some financial support, and then we need people to, show up when we have wrongful conviction events. We need people just that are willing to show up.
That's right. You're definitely right.
And we need people to listen to the show. We need to get everybody and their mother listening to the show. That's
right. You're definitely right about that. And you know what, Jeff? It's so funny. I just spoke it in existence. I just got through saying that we definitely need bodies, in the studio. We need bodies on the phone. And then when I said it, Johnetta popped up on the phone. Now, my man Pac, he just walked in, him and his partner, J.O. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. Humble. I'm good.
Wait a minute, hold on. The mic ain't on. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm good.
I think there's something wrong with that mic.
I'm good, Cole.
Okay.
Good to be in the mix.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming in today. Why was it important for you to come in today?
Because we're talking about what's really going on.
Yeah.
Most radio stations aren't.
Right.
We're really talking about what's really going on.
You can switch to this mic real quick. Let me see something. Try this one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, you said other radio stations ain't saying what we're saying.
They're not talking about what's really going on behind the scenes, behind the money, behind the glitz, the glam, behind the facade, the television. This is what's really going on, what you guys are talking about.
Right. And, you had a partner to come in with you. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah.
I'm good.
I hear you. So why was it important to you to come down, man, and support today, man?
Man, same reasons out here, man. I found myself in a situation. I've only been out in Vegas for like a week, but it's been a lesson, and it's amazing out here. There's just a lot of stuff that people don't really want to talk about, don't really see. I mean, they just turn a blind eye to. But
right. You said you found yourself in a situation?
Yeah, man. I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. Sort of came down here on a road trip and decided to stay.
I hear you. So did you have any problems with the law or anything?
Where at?
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to get to that. Well, what we need to do, Jeffrey, we got to take a break for a minute, and we'll be right back. And like I said, Miss Holly, she wasn't able. She had to counsel with us today, Jeffrey. She had Holly Alston. She's in court right now, and she said she ain't even been seen right now. She's been there all day, and she's definitely trying to, defend her child. And, she's fighting for her son today, her younger son. They're trying to take her son away. And I just pray that everything go right for this young lady. You know what I'm saying? She's already having it hard with Terrell, her son, who's in prison right now. So we wishing her the best, and we'll be right back. Now, like I said, we got a lot to talk about this hour. I hope y'all ready. Me and Jeffrey are definitely going to bring it. We got two young men that's in the studio right now. Got Johnetta on the phone, and I appreciate everybody who's a part of us right now. And I feel this show is going to keep growing and growing before it's over. So y'all stay locked in and stay tuned in, and get ready to hear something that's real. We'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? We back. Welcome back to the I've Been Falsely Accused radio show, part 20, with me, the host Cogee, and my man, Mr. Jeffrey Deskovic. And like I said, right before we left, we had great guys to come in, and we got Johnetta on the phone. Now we got Miss Peaches. Miss Peaches, what's up with you?
Glad to be here with you guys, Cogee, today. This is such an important show that you all are doing, and, Cogee, I see you work so hard to bring all of this together, and it's definitely needed.
Yeah, and you know what? But, hey, let me tell you something. I got my wonder twin with me, Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? Definitely show him that love.
That's right. Hello, Jeffrey. I'm so glad you're back with us again today.
Thank you very much.
You guys are going hard, and, you know what? That's a good thing. I think there's a lot of people out there that really need you guys. And really a lot of people have probably rethought a lot of things that they went through and realized that there's been a lot of unfair treatment. So thank you for all of your hard work.
And we appreciate it. Now, I want to ask you something real quick, Miss Peaches. What have you seen in the news? Let's everybody just talk right now. I think in this first hour and then in the second hour, Jeffrey, is definitely going to bring us up to speed with a lot of stuff that he has going on, because I definitely want that to be heard. Jeffrey's putting in that work. I'm putting in that work. I'm making sure on Facebook that I'm really staying present and up on it 24/7, you know, being the leader that I feel I am. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jeffrey, we ain't in the same city, so we have to work separately, but we are putting in work. You get what I'm saying? We ain't talking about it. We being about it. And that's what it's, you know, that's what it's about. So I just want to ask you, Miss Peaches, what have you seen in the news? And Johnetta, you get ready. And then Jeff, you get ready. And I got two young men in the studio right now. Let's definitely talk about things that stir up conversation and make people go hunt for it where they can see it for themselves. And let's start protecting ourselves with knowledge. This is about knowledge right now. So, Miss Peaches, what have you seen in the news and what do you think should be done?
You know, Coach, I don't have a particular story of seeing in the news at this moment, but I think what I see happening, and you all can speak on it, is that it seems like that there's so much pressure from the internal forces as well as society that a lot of our police officers and lawyers and that goes down the, they're under so much pressure just to get a conviction and pin the crime on somebody so that the outer world and society can say, oh, they got the guy or they got the woman that did it, so we're safe again.
Wow.
And I think that a lot of pressure is really put on them to get it done as fast as possible so that everyone can go back to living in a bubble. And I think that if as a people we started saying, no, we don't want you to just put the crime on someone. We want the real someone.
That's right.
Because a lot of us don't live in a bubble. A lot of us are very aware and alert as to what's going on and want the right person to pay for it. Because like you guys talk about on every show, if they pin a crime on the wrong person, the right person who's out there who's done it is doing it over and over again.
That's right.
And nobody's safe.
That's right. And you know what? Now, let me go to Jeffrey with this. Jeffrey, that like hits home for you, and you talk about this all the time. I want you to back up hit Miss Peaches on this situation.
Yeah, just, I'm sorry, could you say that again? I'm sorry, I got, go ahead.
Did you get disconnected?
Yeah, it faded out just then. Please repeat. I missed the gist of what she said.
Oh, okay. She just was saying that the police have a very heavy workload, so therefore they're just trying to close a case immediately. But when they close one and somebody's falsely accused, the real perpetrator is still left to finish harming people.
Oh, 100%, Cogee. My case is a case in point. The
Right.
actual perpetrator killed another woman 3.5 years later after he killed the victim in the case for which I was wrongfully convicted. That's why it's a very common thing. And that's why I really see this as a public safety issue.
That's right. It definitely is a public safety issue. And that's why I said, I definitely want everybody to speak on what they've seen in the news. Johnetta, what have you seen in the news? Bring us up to speed.
So I've seen on Facebook a lot of people who are getting exonerated. That's great. It just makes my heart so happy when I see that. Yeah.
Right. When you see that the system is working, even though it's failing us, but it is working. And that's what me and Jeffrey, we're trying to get people to understand. Don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. Stay in the fight and definitely, keep trying to help these people, to move forward and come out of jail all around the world. We have folks all around the world who's been put away for something. And they weren't even in the same city they got accused of doing it in. This is something where it needs to stop. This is where we need to step up as a community and we need to say, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. Show us proof before you just put this person down. And some people are doing like 30 years, 40 years. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? Who really loves and care about these people? Jeffrey, when you was locked up and you was put away for 17 years, did you think anybody cared? Did you think anybody from the outside loved you?
My mother, Cogee, I thought my mother stuck by me for the 16 years, but that was it. I mean, the world, I really perceived the world as really cold, uncaring, and apathetic. And I think that I drew that because nearly all the letters I wrote seeking assistance, were never even answered, much less with a positive response.
That's right. You're definitely right about that. Now, Jeffrey, I want to ask you a question. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to ask you questions right now, Jeffrey. You tell me the first thing that come to your mind, okay?
We're going to do a little word association?
Yeah. Let's play a little game right now.
Let's do it.
Falsely accused.
Me.
Damaged testimony.
Damaged testimony?
Yeah.
Witnesses who've been coerced.
Witnesses unsure.
Who've been coerced. In other words, witnesses who've been threatened by the police.
Okay. Unsure eyewitness.
Misidentification.
Time loss.
Wrongfully imprisoned.
No public unity.
Lack of grassroots support and general caring for the issue.
I've been falsely accused.
52 plus exonerations so far this year alone.
I hear you. Let's go with trying to think of a good one to keep it right in the realm of where you are. Organization non-support.
Organizational non-support?
Right.
Most organizations only being willing to take on DNA cases.
Right. Fathers lost from the home.
Disproportionately large amount of minorities wrongfully imprisoned.
Mothers lost from the home.
Segment of the wrongfully convicted population that is generally neglected.
Wow. High bail sentences.
High bails?
Yeah, high bail sentences. Sentences that get high bails where they know they can't reach the goal.
Okay. Let me see. Two-tiered system of justice.
Okay. Now break that down for us a little bit. I did that on purpose so you can teach.
Okay. Well, Cogee, there's the justice for the wealthy and the politically connected, and those are the only type of people that could ever afford to make high bail and get quality representation. And then there's a system of justice for everybody else.
Okay, definitely broke that down.
You don't got the resources, and that's how they're able to run people over. I mean, imagine the Duke lacrosse case, but with the defendants not having families who were behind them that had, that were wealthy, that could afford a higher top-notch representation.
Mm-hmm.
In any other case, they would have been run over, convicted, would have been publicly shamed, and would have been imprisoned, and would have never been heard from again, unless by some miracle they were exonerated.
That's right. You definitely read about that. Jeffrey? Jeff?
I'm still here. That
okay.
wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Now, I want to ask you, government.
Refusing to enact reforms to prevent wrongful convictions.
Okay. Take us to school on that. What do you mean by that for people that don't know?
What I mean is that every time someone has been exonerated, experts review the case and look at what went wrong, and by this point, all the causes have been clearly identified, and reforms have been that would make the system more accurate have been proposed, and they've been studied, and they've been proven by social science to make the system more accurate, and yet year in and year out, the state and federal legislatures across the country and nationally, they don't pass anything to prevent wrongful convictions from happening in the same way. I mean, in a lot of ways, it feels to me, as someone both who was wrongfully convicted as well as an advocate who's been fighting for change, that it really there's an indifference. It's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't. So what? It's not affecting us.
Right. You know what, Jeffrey? Let me ask you something. Now, I want to piggyback on this situation with you. And like I said, in everything that I'm going to ask you right now, I definitely want you to teach. And that's why I want everybody to make sure you got your pens and your paper, and y'all really need to write this stuff down, because this is going to have to take us all the way out of our lifetime right now having this information. Jeffrey, when it comes to, like you said, different legislatives and all the different laws that you said are not getting passed by the right people, do we really blame the people who not passing the laws, or do we blame the people who are not putting in the petitions and who are not following through with what we claim we're fighting for?
I think it's mixed, but I think that the people that it's mixed. I think it's a 50-50 proposition. I mean, because as long as the general populace, that they don't care about the issue, I mean, you're not they're blameworthy, definitely. But then I also think, like, there's a part of me that feels like if you take on governmental trust and we have a political position of power. I look at it as a position of responsibility. You're supposed to be there for the public good, and so to me, you have a higher moral level of culpability. But in the end, though, if I was to say what's the bigger problem is the apathy from the public.
That's right. You're definitely right about that. I definitely agree on that. Now, Jeffrey, another thing I want to ask you: what do you think takes so long when people are putting in appeals? Why is it a dogfight?
Because the prosecution doesn't. They often don't want to admit the error because then they have, because then they would know that could prompt a review, and then somebody probably did something wrong along the way. That's part of it. Sometimes, and this part of it really sickens me. I think that the part of the fight is that these state actors, they don't want the state to have to pay compensation, which they know will happen if an exoneration happens. I think tunnel vision is another thing. In other words, I think that sometimes once they lock in on somebody, I think that they start to filter out all evidence that's to the contrary. So that's part of it. I think that there's a lot of collegiality that goes on, that people don't want to step on other people's toes. Let me crystallize. When if I'm a district attorney or I'm a prosecutor, and I may not want to reverse cases that for the prior prosecutor, for the prior district attorney, or if I know this, my coworker worked on this case, I'm assigned to the appeals bureau or the post-conviction bureau, and the guy that did the trial, I see him in the office every day. Maybe we go out to lunch a couple of times a week. I don't want to make him look bad, and that's part of what the thinking is.
That's right. I hear you. You definitely broke that down. So, everybody, what we got to do, we got to take a break. And like I said, it was my man, Mr. Jeffrey Deskovic. And we ain't through. He's going to finish teaching when we come back after this break. Jeffrey, you're doing a great job. I love how you're breaking it down. So, everybody, please get your pens and paper. When we come back, we got a lot more information coming. I'm gonna keep sending them to Jeffrey. He's going to keep knocking it out of the park. So, y'all get ready, and we'll be right back. Hey, we back, everybody. Welcome back to the I've Been Falsely Accused radio show, part 20. I'm your host, Cogee, and with my main man, Mr. Jeffrey Deskovic, who's my co-host. Now, let me ask you a question, Jeffrey, coming back out the gate real quick. And then we got a special guest who came back today and said she can do it now. We got Miss Holly Alston. She'll be coming in a second. Jeffrey, what does fight the power mean, in your own words?
That means go against the corrupt elements. Note, I said corrupt elements.
Right.
Note again, I said the corrupt elements.
That's right.
Within the law enforcement level, the prosecution, the court, and the political establishment. Okay. Anyone who has a hand in, wrongful convictions, preserving them, not doing the things within their power that can make the system more accurate. That's what that means. And an important part of that song, from Public Enemy, is we got to make everybody see.
That's right.
In order to fight the powers that be. That's what this is all about.
That's
right. We got to make everybody understand. If you don't understand what's going on, you can't do nothing about it. You can't even talk about it the right way if you don't understand what's going on. You're
definitely right about that. But see, I'm going to tell you, I had a conversation with somebody last night. And my partner, he called me from out of town, and he said, man, I'm looking at y'all site, and, I thought y'all would have, more likes, more support, more everything. He said, man, I go on Facebook, I watch some BS go viral in a matter of seconds. And then with what y'all doing, he's like, man, I'm telling you, y'all should be so viral right now. Everybody should be coming for y'all and trying to be on y'all show and want to do what y'all doing. And I say, you know what? Now, see, that's something you got to tell the whole rest of the world. Me and Jeffrey, we been saying it. Sometimes it's an outside person that can say something and catch the ears of people, which is sad because it's almost making me feel like, Jeffrey, what me and you doing is just in vain. It's just for nothing. But I truly don't believe it's for nothing.
Yeah, I know too. I know what you mean, Cogee. I definitely don't believe it's in vain, that it's for nothing. But at the same time, at times it feels that way. I mean, to be, at the forefront of a movement, it can be a real lonely place, Cogee, when it's not, it's okay to be the battering ram or to be the lance, but there's no people pushing the damn battering ram. There's no knight holding the lance forward. There's nothing behind us. We just by ourselves, no troops, nothing.
Right.
That's a hard place to be, honestly.
Right. But see, that's what I tell a lot of people. When I see people on Facebook that stand alone, I make sure I give them a like. I make sure I give them that support that they trying to get when I see them post something, because that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to be brothers and sisters in arms with Facebook and not just use it as, showcasing something or targeting something or saying something about somebody. No, let's use it also for business. Really use it for business. You know what I'm saying? Community business, street business, politics, far as getting things right, to line the right politics up to make the right laws come out where we protect it. We, the people, are protected. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we see so much now to where police, it's almost like they can do anything they want to do and they getting away with it. But I'm going to tell you, Jeffrey, here's the bad thing about that situation with me. The people are going to get tired one day. That's why you're seeing a lot of people that's firing back and they shooting and they doing all, and I don't think it's right. But Jeffrey, I think a lot of it can be stopped if they just put the guns down. They don't even have to use the guns. If they use the tasers or do what they need to do instead of just shooting and killing, you can tase somebody that's wild and tripping. You don't have to take their life.
Right.
Oh, that's right, Coach. I have a big problem when I see all these, these deaths caused by police shootings and very often, as you just point out, they're not necessary. There's less lethal means. It seems to be a disregard for life. I saw a sign the other day as I was driving my car, and it said, respect life from conception to natural death. But the very people who are some of the very people who are entrusted with securing the safety of the public are some of the same ones that's taking it.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? I'm watching people get choked out and get killed. Getting choked all the way out. Past being choked to pass you out and then handcuff you, and they know they didn't kill you. They just passed you out, made you faint. But we're talking about choking you out of this lifetime. Is that necessary?
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you what really rankles me, Cogee, is that it seems like every time this happens, there's always an acquittal. There's either no charges are filed,
that's right,
or else it's a jury finding of not guilty.
Right.
It's terrible.
That's right. And you know what? I had a lady say to me the other day, she said, the way we getting choked out, we getting shot down, and everything's happening to us, and they talking about taking our guns away? They talking about taking all our self-defense away, even when we, have to protect ourselves. I seen an article the other day where the police, about 15 police barricaded this guy's door down, ran in the house, and he shot everybody. Did y'all see that?
I didn't see that one.
Well, he shot everybody, but he got acquitted on the situation. Why? Because they ran in the wrong house. They were supposed to go to the one next door, and they ran in the wrong house. And this guy didn't know what was going on. Just somebody kicking down your door and ramming, and coming in, and he just started firing.
Coach, I remember reading some cases similar to that. It didn't have the. I remember reading some cases similar to that, and what happened was the homeowner did he thought he was being robbed,
right?
And so he goes to his shotgun to defend himself, and ends up being killed.
Right, and it was the wrong house.
Yeah, it was the wrong house.
Right, and we're seeing it so much, and the more the story is, you take our guns away, you leave us, the leaders of the house, to basically be defenseless to take care of our families. I'm going to talk about our families first. I ain't talking about shooting police or shooting back at police. That ain't the more of the story. I'm talking about to straight up be able to defend ourselves. That's a problem. I really feel it's a problem. What's your take on it, Jeff?
I believe in the Second Amendment, and I think that you should have a right to we should have a right to defend ourselves. And I think that look, the gun problem in this country has to do with illegal guns. those aren't the people
That's
that
right.
got registered weapons and their guns are limited to inside their house if they go hunting. That's not what the problem is. The problem is with the criminal element who are now going through all that process to begin with. So to that extent, I really don't think that the goals are really being met. That's supposed to be the rationale behind removing guns.
That's right. I hear you. Now, let me do this real quick. Holly, I ain't forgot about you. I'm coming to you. We got you covered, me and Jeffrey, but we got some stuff we really need to clear up for a minute because we was on a roll and we was coming to a point, in a subject. Now, Pac, I want to come to you and I want to ask you, how detrimental is it to all of us and our guns when it comes to all the killings in Chicago, all the hood killings, all the unnecessary killings, you know what I'm saying, that's being done with firearms?
Very much so. We got to start with the leaders in the position. And they got to understand that they got to not only make that decision with themselves, but they also got to make that decision with us in mind. You got families that need that. You got families that need that protection in mind. You got people like myself that move around and we're not on that dumb stuff.
Right.
That we need that.
Right.
And you press that law up against us that we can't be armed, that we can't protect ourselves, then there's a whole new different level. Then you're on some whole new vigilante type of movement.
Right, because you left with no choice.
Yeah, you're on that underground movement then.
Right.
And it makes situations worse.
And that's right, and that's what we don't want. We don't want no vigilante stuff. That's why we do these shows. If you just follow through with me and Jeffrey and do the things we ask you to do when it comes to signing petitions, when it comes to supporting, when it comes to showing support, you don't have to get out and fight and do nothing.
Exactly.
That's what me and Jeffrey are doing.
You have to be active in it. They hit me up last night. They got me as the wrong dude. They hit me up last night. That's why when I come out here, I be out in the streets because that's where it's at. My dad predicted that. And when they put me up against the SWAT car, they went through the whole procedure with me.
But let everybody know what you do first. You ain't just out in the street.
No, I'm not
He's
out in the
street
street.
performer.
Yeah, I'm a street performer. My dad was a street minister, but he stayed where the gangs was because that's where the cause was. So I get that spark from him. I go to the root of the problem. Most people don't go. So I'm out there paying homage to Pac. I go by Pac's reflection. On a number of reasons I do that. That's another story. But I pretty much out in the streets every night. I'm out there reaching, conversating, talking to people. The gentleman I brought in the studio with me today, he's part of the situation that we talk about, that Cogee and Jay has brought together a beautiful show for us to talk about. But if we don't touch them, we're not moving forward.
That's
and
right.
if nobody won't go out there like my dad did, I got to go out there. So I'm part of what's really going on, what we talking about. But they hit me up because they got me twisted with somebody else that was out there. And what was I supposed to do? Due to me respecting the law, situation didn't go the other way because I was ready to respect the law. But if the law ain't respecting and answering proper questions, then it could have went a different direction, but it didn't.
Right. And that's good. I'm glad it didn't because 9 times out of 10, we're going to lose anyway.
Yeah, when it was...
We're already set up to
Yeah.
lose. So it's best just not to say nothing. Now, what we got to do, everybody, we're going to take a break. When we come right back in, like I said, we got Miss Holly Alston. She's going to be with us for a minute. And Jeffrey, we definitely want to be brought up to speed with her going to court today. And, much love, like I said, to her son, Terrell Scott. We definitely got to, try our best to help him. But me and Jeffrey can't do it alone. We need the support of the community, but we need the support of the parents, brothers, sisters, cousins. Anybody that say you love these people that's in trouble, show love. Show love.
For sure.
We'll be right back. Hey, we back, everybody. Welcome back to the I've Been Falsely Accused radio show, part 20. I'm your host, Cogee. We got my main man, Mr. Jeffrey Deskovic, who's my co-host, who's definitely bringing it today. Jeffrey, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Cogee. Same as I feel the same way about you.
I hear you. Now, Miss Holly Alston, how you doing today?
Okay, I'm doing okay. How are you?
All right. I just wanted you to listen for a minute and kind of see where we going with this situation. All us men are here talking. We talking as men because I feel like we the head of the household. We got Miss Peaches, who's still with us. And Miss Peaches still on the line? Miss Peaches?
I'm here.
Okay. So what I want to do, I definitely want to talk to you, Holly, and I want to talk to Miss Peaches real quick. Miss Peaches, I want you to talk to Holly right now and let her know how much from a woman's perspective that, like we talked about yesterday when we had a meeting, you do understand what she's going through with her son Terrell and what all has happened to him, and you speaking from a mother's perspective.
Yes, Holly, I just want you to know that I have my heart goes out to you, and I have a lot of respect for you and your trials that you're going through right now. I can't even imagine the pain that you're feeling, but I have tried to step in your shoes. And I just want you to know that I'm praying for you as well as the rest of our team. And we really, really want the best for your situation and hope that we can get some justice for your son, because when everybody hears your story, I know that it's not going to leave their mind quickly. They'll be just as messed up by it, I think, as all of us have.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's right. Now, let me go back to you, Holly, real quick. How important is it when you hear other women call in and say, hey, you know what? We feel where you coming from. We might not know firsthand, but just being a mom and knowing how much we love our children, to get them just taken away from us where they just vanish. We feel you. How does that help you to keep recharging for the fight?
Well, it helps to know that they're, just for support, because, I feel that I'm alone in this battle, and it's been a very, very tough road, especially for my son. So it is encouraging to hear other women. I'm not trying to say dads don't care or anything like that, but a mom, we've given birth to that child. So there's that bond, that initial bond. So it is very encouraging to hear from other moms, that they understand and they feel sorry. And so I do appreciate that.
That's right. And you know what now? Let's turn it around. Let's swing it on the men. Let's swing it on me and Jeffrey. Let's swing it on the men that's in the studio with me right now. How much supportive and power does that give you as a woman to know these men are definitely defending you and have your back, the best way we can?
Well, I appreciate that as well, because also, people just know the plight of the black man is very hard. And to hear other black men saying that, that they want to support Terrell, they want to try to do things for him and try to help the situation, I really appreciate that. Terrell didn't have a father figure, unfortunately, and my ex-husband surely didn't treat him with kindness. So I appreciate that as well.
That's right. And you know what? We definitely appreciate you, like I said, coming through this show and definitely rolling with us. But we down to 3 minutes. So what we going to do, like I said, coming into the second hour, I definitely want you to talk about what you had to go through with court today. And, what we need to know about the case and moving it forward and all the stuff that you've been through, you know what I'm saying, so, thus far, that people don't know about. And, me and Jeffrey, like I said, Jeffrey definitely want to give you that advice. And like I said, we coming in with all love. We all wear the same jersey. There's nobody on our team that's wearing a different jersey, because if they are, they got to get tackled by the whole team. We got to move you out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You're not supporting the cause. So we all supporting the cause, and we all fighting for this all around the world. So I want you to stay locked in and stay tuned in, and we'll be right back. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So everybody, will be right back, and we come right back. We got Miss Holly Alston. She's definitely going to roll with us, and we're going to hear her story. Her story's real. This could happen to anybody. And when you hear how it happened, this is going to blow you away if you're hearing it for the first time. We'll be right back. Get your pens and your paper. Keep it ready. Stay locked in. And if you touch that dial, you are a part of the problem. We'll be right back.